Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Diablo 4 quarterly update, December 2020. I haven't seen this before. Let's check it out. Let's see what they have for us. Hello and welcome once again to Diablo 4 quarterly update, our last for 2020. Get introduction. Itemization. Alright. Today's topic centers on one such major revision, which also happens to be the most requested topic this year, itemization. Okay. Items are the lifeblood of Diablo. They are the element of the game that captures your imagination and keeps you playing and wondering, what if, after you put the game down. Whether it's anticipating the next piece of perfectly rolled godly gear, or kicking around items combinations in your head like a mad scientist, items are undoubtedly a major part of what makes Diablo so compelling and so different from other games. Well, I mean, there's games like Diablo out there. It wouldn't. I mean, looter shooters, for example, is the same kind of like the same idea. Yeah, they're not RPGs like Diablo, for example. But then again, I guess compared to some games, yeah, it is different. Um, okay, itemization, that's fine. This is all just intro from the looks of it. Keep tabs on us on social media, we're good. Next update will be during BlizzCon Online. BlizzCon Online, yeah, I heard the next BlizzCon will be online only. Probably cheaper that way. But it's also going to be free at the same time, if I'm not mistaken. Today, we're going to look at some changes to items in Diablo 4 and update you on a few things we've shared in our previous development blogs. In deciding what changes to make, we focused on three core ideals. First, we want to strengthen class identity by providing intuitive fantasy hooks, and looks will be nice. Items and skills that lean into the fantasy of your class are best. I agree, it makes a lot of sense. Second, we want to support deeper customization through our itemization. Items should support and enhance your class, not define it. Um, I'm guess this is currently the opposite of what Diablo 3 has with item sets. And I like sets though, but I guess yeah, it is always better to have more customization, depending how you're playing your character. Finally, we're landing on overall depth somewhere between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. We aim to provide years of things to discover and countless ways to build a class. We're landing on overall depth somewhere between Diablo 2, that's good, Diablo 3, that's not the best. So basically, if Diablo 2 was hardcore and Diablo 3 was casual, basically they're doing a casual hardcore on items, from what I get from this. We aim to provide years of things to discover and countless ways to build a class. Well, if you're aiming to provide years of things to discover, Diablo 3 is not the answer. I discovered everything in Diablo 3 in like 3 weeks or so. And especially now, when once I played the Reaper of Souls, I discovered everything in a week. Oh, everything when it comes to items. Everything in a week, not years. Diablo 2, yeah, it took me a shit ton of time to get my set. I still remember it, and I wasn't aiming for anything big. I was just aiming for my Necromancer set. That's it, and it took me quite a while to get it. Diablo 3, couple of days I was done. So this line kind of counters these words here. Anyways, I'm not saying casual is bad. It's just I don't think it's gonna last years as they expected, unless they constantly update the game. If they constantly update the game, yeah, it will work. If they do what they did with Diablo 3, they give us the base game, then they give us an expansion, it's not gonna work. Period. Skill tree. Since releasing the last quarterly blog post on the skill tree, we've been reviewing all of your feedback. Our team has also had a lot of hands-on time with our skill trees in frequent internal playtests, including an extended progression playtest. Based on this, we're confident that it's a solid direction, so we're going to iterate on it and make further improvements. For example, we're increasing the clustering of related skill nodes, so players don't have to go across the tree to find skill upgrades for their builds. Yeah, that makes sense. You want to kind of like stick in the same part of the tree. You don't want to like take a skill from all the way to the left and a skill all the way from the right. You just want to go like in the same on the same path. That makes sense. The ability to re-specialize or respec your skills is a tricky one to balance. Correct. How are they going to do it? Like many of you, we want choices to matter and characters to feel different from each other, not just one click away from being identical to all the others. Diablo 3. So again, you're mentioning this again, and then you're mentioning Diablo 3 like a couple of lines just before that that you want to follow. This statement here, we aim to provide years of things to discover and countless ways to build a class. And this statement here, not just one click away from being identical to all the others, are complete opposites to we're landing an overall depth somewhere between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. Like, they do not compute with each other. They don't work with each other. Diablo 3 is not deep at all. It's zero in depth. You play the game a week, you're done. You've seen everything. You've done everything. You got all your items. That's it. So I don't know why this was even mentioned here, but whatever. I guess they're trying to get both audiences from Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. But at the same time, they should just I don't know. They're trying to like please everybody, and it's not gonna work. I have a feeling. Anyways, moving on. We also want to encourage players to experiment with different skills when they start playing and discover builds that are right for them. In that case, I would say just I don't know, make the skill tree um, make it so you can respec before you reach max level, and perhaps at max level you have like a final choice to make on your skill tree or something. Could be an idea. Or just make it more difficult to respec after you reach max level. Like for example, before you reach max level, you can respec at as a, on a with a click, but then afterwards maybe you're gonna have to buy something or something that's expensive or who knows. In Diablo 4, you will be able to respec your skills and passives. The number of times you can do this will be unlimited, but it won't be free, what I just said. It will be easy to do when you first start a character. As your character grows, the effort and costs required to respec will grow too. That's perfect. That's perfect. That's very good. In the end game, changing your build requires significant investment to appropriately match the time and effort you've put into define your character. This is perfect. I agree with this. You start, you want to try different things, make it very cheap. As you advance in the game, make it very, very, very expensive. All right, ooh, we got some stuff here. Hold on, I don't want to see that yet. In our last blog, we agree with your feedback that too much of a character's power came from the items they were. Correct. And we liked the imagery conjured by the phrases angelic power and demonic power, but they didn't reinforce the fantasy of what being a barbarian, a sorcerer, or a druid is all about. So we went back to our roots and looked at the classic RPG elements of early Diablo games. That's very good. What are you really doing when you wade through a horde of monsters and you merge a level higher on the other side? You're training, you're practicing your skill, you're getting better at what you do, becoming stronger and smarter. Correct? That's very good. Also, actually, after getting a level, our barbarian has received 5 stat points and 2 skill points. Okay, so they're going back to Diablo 1, Diablo 2 way of spending stat points and skill points. Interesting. Yeah, it looks like it. Strength, dexterity. That's good. That's very good. That's very good. That gives you more ways to build your character, right? Absolutely. See, now that I'm thinking about it, the only issue with this is that if they make it difficult to respec, because you're looking at Diablo 2, right? Diablo 2 came out, you built your character, and that was it. Like they didn't release patches like nowadays where they release it like every couple of months or like every couple of weeks for some games, right? So the problem with this could be that indeed you do spend all your points in strength because that's what's hot at the moment, and then in a couple of months they nerf it, and now your character became useless unless you have the money to respec it, right? That's kind of like the only issue I see with this at the moment. But again, this could be fixed with like refunds for points and whatnot, like give you a percentage of points back and whatnot. It's not a big issue, but hopefully they have a way to fix it when we get there. And there are solutions for that anyways. When you get a level, you receive points to spend in strength, intelligence, dexterity, or willpower, along with your skill points. Of course, most barbarians builds are going to benefit from a healthy measure of strength, because you build out your character and the set of skills and synergies. You want to mix in other attributes. Yeah, big time. Oh, I can click on this. The graphics look good, in my opinion. I love them. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so that's okay. Strength gives you skill damage and defense. Intelligence gives you all resistances. Willpower gives you resource generation and healing received. Dexterity gives you critical strike chance and chance to dodge. So yeah, just like back in the old games. There's your warrior, there's your mage, there's your rogue, and this one pretty much works with kind of like all the classes. But I would say mostly with mages and rogues. Actually, no, it works for all the classes. What am I saying? Nice armors. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. As a barbarian, each point of strength will increase the damage of your skills, while willpower improves fury generation, and dexterity grants critical chance. Meanwhile, as a sorcerer, oh wait, they're different. Oh, that's actually very good. So for a mage or sorceress, increased strength gives you defense, intelligence gives you skill damage, all resistance, willpower gives you critical strike chance, healing received, dexterity gives you resource generation, and chance to dodge attacks. Oh, they're switched around. Yeah, I like it. I think this is good. I like it. It's like this, each class feels more unique actually. A mount tab. Here we go. Here's your what do you call that? Real money cosmetics. Right here. There they are. There. This is where you spend real money, by the way. Just click on this. That's where you spend your real money. So meanwhile, as a sorcerer's intelligence increases skill damage, willpower gives you crit chance, dexterity hastens mana recovery. Each stats also confers a secondary defensive bonus. I like it. I like it. You can supplement your character's stat build with items to give you a little more willpower here, a little more strength there, but the vast majority of your stats will come from how you choose to spend your points. And here's what it gets really interesting, where it gets really interesting. Many of the nodes in each class skill tree have additional effects if you meet specific primary stat thresholds. Really. You'll get a baseline effect of these nodes when you spend the skill points to unlock them, but get enough of the corresponding primary stat as set the bonus effect will activate. You'll want to think carefully about how to allocate your stat points to activate these effects. Okay, so that's your Fury. Whirlwind restores 1 Fury each time it hits an enemy. Ooh. That's nice. No longer slows the barbarian's movement speed while active when you 150 stacks. Nice. Whirlwind critical strike damage is increased by 10%. Whirlwind provides 1% critical strike damage per second while activated, stacking up 20%. That's very nice. I don't know why, but I just had a feeling of Wolcen with these stats. Kind of like how in Wolcen you select your skill and you put points into it doing different things like recovering mana and increasing movement speed and more critical strike damage, and one of the upgrades was like wider range or stuff like that. Wolcen vibes. I like it, but at the same time, why the hell am I getting Wolcen vibes? I don't know if that's a good thing. Again, Wolcen being a type of game that you play once and then you never play again. I mean, I believe the Wolcen um, players on Steam went something to like an insane number, and then 2 days later nobody was playing the game anymore. And yeah, then they said it was because of the lag and whatnot. But even when they fixed the lag, like nobody was playing it anymore. Like it died out. Period. I hope this is not the case for Diablo. And let's check out the sorceress. Ice blades. 12 seconds that rapidly slash enemies for damage and chill. Enchant slot effect. After applying 75 chill, ice blades are conjured. Chilled enemies have reduced movement speed. Repeatedly chilling an enemy will refreeze it. Increase the summon duration of your ice blades by 5 seconds. And the other one, chill aura with each attack. Ice blades deal additional damage to frozen targets. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I mean, I like this. I like it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's an extra step, in your skills, in your stat points and whatnot. Now, let's talk items, weapon types. As we hinted in our last blog, we're making substantial changes to core itemization. We'll start by looking at the many different weapons available to classes in Diablo 4. Our weapon types look visually distinct and have meaningful effects on gameplay through features like the Barbarian's Arsenal. We've also done a lot of work in the game engine to make weapons feel more real and physical, like the Barbarian carving a through the ground trowel through the ground with their maze during upheaval. Characters in Diablo 4 use their weapons to perform skills and channel magical power. Looks sick. Even the grass looks sick. You can see like moving and stuff, and the rain, and the graphics are very good. And the gameplay looks amazing. Gameplay was never a problem for Diablo. Like Diablo 3's gameplay, like I'll always praise it. It's like the best on the market at the moment. There's nothing compares to it. It's really impactful, solid. The movements are well done. The animations are well done. The enemies that die in like some very creative ways and whatnot. I mean, it's really well done. And this looks really good. Graphics and gameplay animations and skill animations and special effects and what you want will not be a problem for Diablo 4. Diablo 4 will excel in those areas. I can guarantee it. They have the money, the people for it. Diablo 4 will look amazing and will play amazing. The only problem, the only question, how deep is the game? That's my only question. So far, from what I'm seeing, it looks amazing. From what I'm reading, I'm still skeptical. But from what I'm seeing, yeah, man, it looks beautiful. The game, forget about it. But something was still missing. Wands should be faster than quarterstaffs, and swords and maces should do different things. To see what that feels like in action, we've added weapon speeds and inherent characteristics to all weapons in our latest internal test environment. 2 different weapons choices for a level 20 sorceress. I gotta close some of these windows. Conjuration Omen, rare wand. 850 weapon attack, very fast weapon. Arcane Embrace, rare staff. Slow weapon, but more damage. Resource regeneration, 18 intelligence. Yeah, this is basic. One's fast, the other one's slow. This one deals more damage. It's basic stuff. In general, wait, is this is tied to your skills? How fast the weapon is? Really? In general, one-handed weapons excel at letting you attack and reposition quickly, while slower two-handed weapons deal more damage. You can rarely feel the difference between them. You can opt for a staff to cast more damaging frostbolts or a wand to channel them more quickly. Oh, interesting, actually. Yeah, that is quite interesting. I didn't think it would affect your skills. I thought it would just be like your attack speed, your normal attack speed, but okay, it actually affects spells. Yeah, it's an extra degree of customization. It could work. Of course, you're always gonna probably choose the most powerful, the one that does the most damage, but it's interesting. They could really work this out with different skills. Maybe you wanted a skill like meteor to do way more damage than cast it faster or something. Well, something like a smaller spell, you might want to cast it like a machine gun, basically, right? Just go super fast. Oh, super fast. This one's faster. My bad. Okay, cool. I like it. I like it. In addition to speed, each type of weapon has an inherent physical characteristic. For shields, this is a block value, meaning that any shield you find in Sanctuary is going to have block, in addition to any magical affixes it may have. As physical properties, these traits are consistent across all weapons of the same type and cannot be modified. So what you're saying is ones always have critical strike chance and axes always have a chance to bleed. Is that what it was here? Yep, crit strike. And I guess tabs always have resource regeneration. Yeah, this is good actually. Could work with your builds. I mean, if you need more resource management, you get a staff. If you're casting like I don't know, like heavier cost spells, while if you want more critical strike, you go with wands. Okay. Again, what's good about this is that they're adding different stages to a item. So customization wise, that's really amazing. Here we see examples of a shield, wand, and axe. Yeah, that's what it was. You might notice another thing about these items. They're high resolution renders of the actual equipment. Really? Are they? Oh, cool. Cool, 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 cool. Nice. In a game like Diablo, icons are important. They often contribute as much to the identity of a cool piece of loot as the in-game representation on your character. And I love that. Items that don't appear on your character, like rings, are defined by their icons. We've upgraded a lot of them. That's very good. I like to see the items I'm picking up actually being represented on my character really well. And it's one of the reasons I'm not a fan of Path of Exile's look of items because the really insane and crazy ones you have to pay for because they're just empty X's, right? They're just visuals. You're just adding visuals to your character, while the items that you pick up in the world, they're kind of like garbage looking, you know? I mean, they're not garbage looking, but not as impressive as the stuff you pay real money for. But this is, and I hope Diablo doesn't go that path. I hope they don't offer empty access to buy because they don't really change the look of your character, and I'm not a big fan of that. I want to see my character grow in power with the loot you're gathering, and the higher the loot, the higher level, the more impressive you look. And so it's probably like level 3 or something, but then a level like 60 or like full of like I don't know flames or like ice shards or some crap. You know, I love that stuff. So this is good. This is good. Item qualities. Is there an item quantities section? That's what I'm very interested about. Because again, not a big fan of the quantity of items you're getting in Diablo 3. But anyways, item qualities. We also made some exciting changes to the game's item qualities. Philosophically, we like the clarity of analysis afforded by clearly understood item tiers. In other words, we think players of all skill levels benefit from not having to scrutinize every single item that drops to see if it might be an upgrade for them. Blue magic items are good, but yellow rares are usually better. There's a great feeling of progression when you graduate into items with greater complexity, more powerful effects, and cooler looks as you level up. At the end, the game-changing powers found on the legendary items in Diablo 3 are exciting and offer many possibilities of effects that just aren't possible with regular affixes. Correct, yeah, absolutely. That's not a problem. That's true for most of these types of games. That said, we don't want to end up in a place where the right decision is to ignore every item that doesn't have a glowing orange sky beam. That's good. So we're making a lot of exciting changes here. We're increasing the potential power of individual affixes on magic items. We're increasing the maximum number of affixes on rare and better items in the end game. Legendary affixes now roll randomly. Yes, really. On legendary items, and unique items will replace mythics. Okay, so no more mythics. Unique items are unique items. Legendary rare. Magic items can now have the most powerful regular affixes, while rare items get up to 5, and legendary items have 4 regular affixes and 1 legendary affix. Okay, so there's your mace. Your magic staff, I mean. Rare staff. And your legendary staff. Hmm. Okay, so what they're saying. You just get more stats basically, but they're all random in a way. And for the legendary, you get like a specific stat just for itself. Huh, interesting. I'm reading this again just to make sure I got it correctly. See, I'm kind of like confused because usually like I'm used to magic, rare, and unique, let's say. But it's kind of like they added like an extra stat line in here, an extra type of item which is legendary, which is under unique and better than rare. So if these legendary items, which I'm guessing might have the same um, stats or number of lines, whatever you want to call them, affixes, as uniques, and if they're random, they could actually become better than uniques because you could get some really interesting random stats on your a legendary staff, for example, while a unique might not have certain stats that you might only find in legendary. What I'm saying is that uniques are built with certain stats and they're always the same, while legendary offers you other options that you might be looking for. You know what I'm saying? Unless unique items have some very special unique traits to them. Right. Let's keep going. Legendary affixes. You can think of legendary items as rare items with one affix replacing with a legendary effect. That's what I said, yeah. These new legendary affixes work just like regular affixes. Affixes, I don't know what the hell to say this word. And that they can roll randomly on different items and in different slots. Many can be used by any class, while some are specific to a particular class. That's exactly what I said. So this, I'm guessing you get some really insane rare stuff in these that could like be better than uniques and any other sort of item. When you stand inside your own damaging ground effects, you increase the damage they deal by 27%. This one has the same thing. This one, your chill effects will trigger freeze 25% faster, but you deal 30% less frost damage. Really? Okay. Interesting. Gain a 45% critical strike damage bonus against vulnerable targets. Increases the duration of your defensive skills by 38%. What is it, like a tank item? So what I'm getting from these legendary items is that it's a better rare with an extra. No, it's a rare with an extra legendary line. That's what it is. So again, you can get some really insane unique ones that could probably be better than uniques. That's very good. Again, that allows you a wider range of customization in your items, and it also allows for more drops and for um, better legendary items, better rare items. Can decide between making your chill effects freeze faster or more damaging ground effects for your boots? No problem. Legendary affixes aren't restricted to a specific slot. Oh, okay, so they can appear on any item. That's cool. Interesting. Hmm. You'll notice a variety of our affixes in examples above, including elemental resistances and sockets for gems and runes, which can appear on items in place of another affix. And of course, attack. Why is this? Why is this a capital A? I don't know. And of course, attack comes from your weapons, while defense comes from your armor. Right. With the increase to the maximum number of affixes available on items, we'll also be adding new affixes to the game to make sure there's plenty of diversity. That's perfect. That's what we want. Plenty of diversity. That's very good. Unique items are making a comeback in a big way in Diablo 4. We're embracing the fantasy of these build-around items with completely fixed affixes, heavily thematic and usually class-specific powers and distinctive looks. 3 unique items available at level 20. A unique will always appear with the same affixes. Let's take a look at them. Unique pants, max life, elite damage reduction, reduced potion cooldown, +1 rank to hunt a week. Your poisons no longer deal damage over time. Instead, 127% of the total damage is dealt to the target when your poisons expire. Oh, interesting. Of course, you have the little tags there. Stormwalker's Cudgel, unique mace. 2% overpower chance, 13 all stats, melee damage, critical strike damage, attack speed. When Hurricane deals damage, there is a chance to automatically cast Tornado at the target for free. Interesting. So you actually have to pay attention to what you're doing. Unless it's casted automatically. Oh, it is casted automatically. Never mind. There's a chance to automatically cast. Okay, yeah, okay. My bad is like right here. That's very cool. An effect within a spell within a spell. I like that. Chest, 22 strength, max life, dodge, damage reduction. Poison enemies hit by your lacerate or trash initially deal 25% of the remaining damage to all nearby enemies. Instantly deal. That's also interesting. It's like some sort of a AoE basically. Cool. Cool. Alright. They have unique effects. I'll give them that. We still like the idea of mythic items, but we don't want to create an item quality that invalidates all the others. That's very good. That's true. So they're out for now. One of the things we loved most about them was the promise of getting random legendary powers on an item, so we folded that into our baseline legendary design. What they could have done with mythic items is what League of Legends just did with them. It's basically only allow one per character, for example, right? So you can have mythic items, you can have like a chest armor, a weapon, a helmet, whatever, but you can only equip one per character or something similar, you know? Like this, you still have mythic items, like some incredibly powerful items, but they're limited to how many you can equip, so you have to choose the best one for your playstyle. That could be an idea for them if they ever want to bring them back. But at the same time, I don't mind another. Um, right. With the addition of skills and passive tree, primary stat points and changes to items in Diablo 4, we can't wait to see all the builds you'll create. Maybe you'll focus on skills augmented by uniques we designed, create something from scratch out of different legendary affixes, discover a creative pairing of primary stats with specific skills, or even incorporate the odd rare or magic item to maximize a specific affix to great effect. We're excited to read through the community feedback, etc. I'm guessing at BlizzCon Online will be the next class announcements. I hope so. That would be cool. And yeah, that's about it for this one. So it seems they give us way more choice than Diablo 3. That's very good. That's very good. Like I said, I have no issues with how the game will look and play, let's say. I'm sure it's gonna be freaking awesome. It's gonna be amazing. My only problem with this blog was, again, the mention of Diablo 3 and how they're looking to do some stuff like they did in Diablo 3, which I don't think is a great example to follow. No matter how much you like Diablo 3, you might be surprised how much more you would like Diablo 2 if it had the gameplay of Diablo 3 and the graphics of Diablo 3, right? Because again, the only difference between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3 Diablo 3 has better graphics, better gameplay. Diablo 2 has more depth in itemization. And like I mentioned in my previous video, if you want your game to last longer, you need to have something for the players to try to reach, a goal at the end of end game basically, right? If you're just doing Diablo 3 and doing rifts and you've done 10 rifts, well, you've seen the rest of the game. There's nothing else for you out there. That's it. You got all your items. They drop like 10 legendaries per rift. You get them all and you're done with the game. Diablo 2, in order to get some of the items or some of the rune words, it was insane amount of time that you have to spend in the game, and that's what made people play the game. That's my opinion, anyways. But so far, I like everything I see. I like the fact they brought back skill points. I love the fact that the items seem to be more diversified. The skill points seem to be diversified. The graphics look amazing. The gameplay looks amazing. Um, I love everything about it. I just wish they stay away from Diablo 3 as much as possible. They already got the good stuff from it, the graphics, the gameplay. Everything else, when it comes to item qualities and item quantities and end game um, and whatnot, whatever's end game basically, whatever makes the game last longer, they should focus on other games. I find, personal opinion, of course. And that's it for December. I can't wait for BlizzCon Online, and hopefully we get to see the new classes. I'm so far none of the classes attract me. I want something dark. I want something edgy. The Diablo should deliver. Blizzard should deliver on that. I'm sure of it. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.